A veteran corner signing somewhere else might seem like a footnote, but for the Dolphins, it changes the whole picture. Jair Alexander found a new team, and honestly, that's a break Miami should be grateful for. This isn't just about who signed where. It's about how a seemingly minor move shifts the momentum in the Dolphins' favor, in a way that only starts to make sense once you trace every little thread. Jair Alexander going to Baltimore on a one-year deal for $4 million with $2 million in incentives isn't flashy, but it's exactly the kind of deal that helps Miami in ways that aren't immediately obvious. First off, Alexander always came with baggage, injury history, inconsistency, and that strange suspension for declaring himself team captain before a coin toss, almost costing his team. That's not a small thing. And if you're Miami, a team trying to stabilize and make a real push in the AFC, that's not someone you want to bring into your building just to roll the dice. There's a short-term upside maybe, but long-term, it doesn't move the needle in the right direction. The Dolphins have enough on their plate trying to patch the secondary after a season of instability. They don't need another gamble. So when Alexander quickly signed elsewhere, and for a price that was lower than expected, it cleared the air. There's clarity now. He's not coming. The price he signed for also gives Miami a useful benchmark. They don't need to get dragged into overpaying another corner on the market. They can plan with more certainty, stay in control. And for a team juggling cap space, that's golden. What's especially interesting is how fast this deal happened. He didn't sit on the market long. He was out the door just 2 weeks after his release. He didn't wait for the highest bidder. He took a familiar spot with Baltimore, where Lamar Jackson publicly vouched for him during minicamp. That relationship likely smoothed everything over quickly. That fast movement does 2 things. 1, it removes any illusion that Miami might consider him. And 2, it sparks the rest of the cornerback market to start shifting. That kind of early movement sends signals. Now, other free agents, and teams know where one of the big pieces landed and for how much. Now we're staring directly at the other ongoing storm, the Jalen Ramsey situation, which at this point feels endless. Ramsey was recently seen working out at UCLA. The same Ramsey who skipped minicamp with the Dolphins. The same Ramsey who has long-standing ties to LA. And UCLA? That's not some random facility. That's the Wasserman Center, the Rams' backyard. You don't need a detective board with red strings to figure out where this is headed. Sean McVay went public again with vague talk about obstacles that stand in the way of bringing Ramsey back to the Rams. He's been careful with his words, but the subtext isn't subtle. The Rams want him back. They just don't want to pay all that's left on his deal. They're hoping Miami blinks first. That's the stalemate. Miami has a player under contract, and LA wants him, but not at full price. And now, with Jair Alexander's deal setting the market floor, the Rams can point at that and say, see, corners aren't going for big money right now. It puts the Dolphins in a squeeze. Either they eat more of Ramsey's contract to push the deal through, or they risk holding on to a disgruntled player whose heart might already be elsewhere. Neither option is great. It gets more awkward when you consider the timing. Ramsey's absence is excused, officially, but he's working out in California at the Rams facility. That's not nothing. Is he there just because he still has a house in LA? Is it just convenience? Or is it more than that? The truth is, no one really knows. But the optics are loud. Every breadcrumb points back to the Rams. And until something concrete happens, every day feels like another loop in a story that refuses to end. There's also the matter of Miami's leverage, or lack of it. They don't want to eat salary. The Rams don't want to pay much. That's a staring contest. But what if another team steps in? What if another contender needs a corner badly enough to force LA's hand? That might be what Miami is quietly hoping for. Someone to shake the market up and shift the power dynamic. But the longer they wait, the more this drags into training camp territory. That's not where you want this kind of unresolved storyline sitting. Meanwhile, training camp is creeping closer, and there's another side to the story. The Dolphins released dates for open practices, and fans are already gearing up. 11 sessions total, all starting at 9 a.m., all at the Baptist Health Training Center. If you've been thinking about going, this is your moment. Especially this year, where enthusiasm feels a bit more muted. Ticket availability might actually be within reach. Normally, these get snapped up fast. Around 1,500 people per session. And those who go, they always say the same thing. It's worth it. Great atmosphere, shaded seats, real energy, and a rare chance to see the team up close. Especially if this is a transition year for the roster, you might get to see some new faces take shape in real time.